We're from Kansas City. You were in the way.
Okay, I'll see you later.
You were in the way of us winning Super Bowls in the '90s. Right now, the Chiefs are in the way of the Bills. Maybe a little payback. You think
they're in the way of everybody?
Well, you think that tides could be turning? The game was amazing, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the best game in a long time. I mean, a playoff game. It was back and forth, and the game before before that divisional game, that wild card game with the Patriots was unbelievable. I mean, Bill scored in the first 7 drives. We had the best offense in the league in the '90s, and we never did that. So, they got a star in Josh, obviously, and they made some moves there in the offseason here and picked up a kid here in the first round at corner that we need, probably, because we don't know what trade Davis White's going to be like. So they're doing their due diligence, the Bills brass. Yeah,
absolutely. Going back to that '94 championship game, because we love to live in misery here.
Well, thanks guys for telling me. I mean, they're always talking about the game this year. I was like, what about the '90s game?
We remember.
We knocked Joe out the game.
Jim Barnett dropped a touchdown. Kim Landers went off.
And we knocked Joe out.
Yep, Joe gets knocked out.
Joe get knocked out.
Game makes it a little bit different.
It's different.
I mean, what do you remember about that game? I mean, you guys come out victorious. You're running the football. Thurman Thomas, Kenneth Davis. You guys run it down.
Yeah, and it's funny because during that season we went to Kansas City and they beat us pretty good. Yeah. So, payback is what sometimes. But and Marty Schottenheimer was a great coach. Rest in peace, Marty. He was a great coach, and it was always Kansas City and Pittsburgh were always up there during the time that I played in Buffalo. It was always, you got to beat those guys in the playoffs. Yeah.
Well, you played in some gusting winds in Buffalo. Yeah. Comparable today, maybe what you gotta compensate for this. We're doing the mountain course today, so how do you see this playing out today?
Dude, man, we're all out here just trying to survive.
That's all you can do.
You know what? It's fun. This is a game that it's more mental than physical, and as athletes, especially what we did, we have to really shift our thinking. Because we're aggressive and we're this, but this game it's not for the weary. It's like 3 inches between your eyes. Yeah.
Last thing, when you did the documentary, the ESPN 30 for 30, the Four Falls of Buffalo, it seemed like that there was some catharsis, from that, from Jim Kelly, from yourself, from Darryl Talley, so many of the greats from that era. Was that a cathartic thing to be a part of that documentary and kind of reconnect with the guys?
Yeah, it was fun to do, but I was only in it for like 5 minutes, man. It was tripping. I went to the premiere. I was like, they left me on the cut. They cut me out like 5 minutes.
You were kind of an important piece to all that.
I think I was, but I only got 5 minutes. Nothing against Scott Norwood, but the kicker got more time than me.
Did Marv Levy really give you that speech of I'll lie down and bleed a while and we'll rise to fight again?
Of course.
He really did that.
He was a great sayings guy, and before games, he always had something to say that related to what was happening.
I always thought Marv and Marty were very similar in a lot of ways.
Marty Schottenheimer?
Yeah.
Probably, but Marv was more on the Marv was a summa cum duma or whatever that is. yeah.
Something that I never got.
Yeah, he got away, and you just looked at Marv. He said, "Okay, what big word's coming out today?"
Hey, Andre, play well today, man. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.